Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Matters Ago. Today I wanted to talk about YouTuber products. Because, it's always been around ever since, YouTube took off and people started getting a really big following and becoming quite popular. There's always been merch. Even as far back as, Fred. Even that guy, and you may not remember that guy, but that's some early YouTube shit right there. Anyway, even that dude had, merch and t-shirts and stuff you could buy. And most merch for most YouTubers makes sense. It sort of fits the brand. A brand having clothing line makes sense. A brand maybe branching out into accessories for your phone and stuff, all that kind of makes sense and I'm on board. But there's some that I just kind of baffle me, like this Prime drink, and I've tried the drink and it is really bad. And I'm not saying I'm the arbiter of taste with these things, but this stuff is just bad. It's just horrible. I can't even describe the flavor profile. It's just shit. It's friggin' awful. I mean, it's so unpopular here in Australia that the local supermarket near me, their cans of Prime now, or even their bottles, whatever you want to buy it in, they're dusty on the lid. They've been sitting there pretty much until they came out. Like, just sitting there because no one wants them, or people tried it once for, the novelty of it's KSI and Logan Paul's drink, oh my god. And it just sits there now, and that's the case in most places. I even went to a 7-Eleven in the city, and a lot of the cans had dust on them, and the guy there was even telling me they've had to throw some out because they've gone out of date. That's how unpopular it is here in Australia. I don't know how it is in the rest of the world. It seems to be really popular. I see it propping up everywhere, and it seems that a lot of people do enjoy it. I don't know why. It's fucking horrible. And also the fact, what the hell does Logan Paul and KSI got to do with a sports drink? Why are they doing this? Like, I get that, Logan Paul's quite fit and he's a wrestler and that, but what credibility does this guy have anymore? This is the same guy who did the whole Suicide Forest video and the fucking crypto scams, and every time you go on the internet, half the time you're gonna see a video about how Logan Paul's fucked up once again. This guy is a narcissistic psychopath. I don't trust him to make anything for me. And KSI, that's a guy, he's a gamer fucking YouTuber. He has his side group and all that, and fucking got famous doing the rape face and funny meme videos and shit. Okay, he does a bit of boxing and that, and now he's going to release a sports drink. What the hell is that? Why isn't he... Why would you do that? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why anyone would even go for that. But they did, and apparently it's made a lot of money somehow, being a shitty drink endorsed by two internet dickheads. I don't know. And the whole Lunchly thing, with Mr. Beast, and Mr. Beast with food, I don't know why that came out of left field. He's trying to start a bloody food chain, which ended up being an absolute disaster. He released the chocolates, and I've tried them. They're mediocre. They're not terrible. It's just mediocre chocolate with a Mr. Beast label on it. It's meh. But why food? What? I do videos where I'm like, if you stand in this square, you get 100 grand. Have my chocolate. What? And doing Lunchly, that shit is just terrible. Yeah, you've probably seen it by now that people have been finding mold in them and stuff like that. But what? YouTubers making lunches? What? I just don't they're so left field. What? I can't get my head around why they would do that. And there's another YouTuber which I quite enjoy, Mr. Oompaville, or however you pronounce his username. Pretty funny guy, does a lot of cool commentary videos, good for a chuckle. I like the guy's content, he seems like a really cool dude, but I tried his sour candies, and I don't know if it's because it, had to be posted here and maybe in transit it got all funny and shit, but when it finally got here and I tried some, it was mediocre at best. And again, Oompaville releasing candy? What? Why? Just why? I don't see how that fits in with the rest of your brand. I do meme videos and I'm from Texas and stuff, shoot guns, rah, and candy. What? I don't get the point. Some channels can have specific stuff that's of the brand of their channel and it makes sense. Like Linus Tech Tips, for example. Everyone knows that channel is quite popular. Or Mr. Who's the Boss even. They could release a phone or a computer. It'd be a little weird and pretty risky, but it would make sense with their brand. I get that. They're tech channels. They release some tech. That makes sense. But Mr. Beast and Oompaville releasing food, Why? Like, if Hot Ones released a sauce, which they probably haven't, I'm just not up to date with, that makes sense. Hot Ones, hot sauce. They released a hot sauce. See how that all just makes sense? But a lot of this stuff, it just comes out of nowhere. And, okay, it's pretty obvious that a lot of these people, like Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, all these kind of cats, the mainstream YouTubers, if you will, they're there to make as much money as humanly possible. Their goal stopped being creativity a long fucking time ago, and you can really see it. It's very noticeable with KSI. If you look at his earlier content, maybe quite immature and crazy and of its time, it still has that sense of creativity, like someone made it who really likes making videos. Whereas now it's just churning out the content and churning out the brand and rebranding and all this stuff. And I won't even go into the debacle with his music, because okay, there was one or two songs that were great, but mostly because of the features in them. And the thick of it, I mean, everyone's already said what needs to be said about that fucking piece of shit. But anyway, I just don't get what these guys are thinking. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know why people are like jacked for it. Like, people were really into the Prime. Why do you want to drink from a sports drink from these guys? Like, if fucking Mike Tyson does a sports drink and people get hype, I totally get that. He was the greatest boxer of his generation and he has a sports drink. Makes sense. But Logan Paul and KSI, like, I don't want anything, especially from Logan Paul. That guy is an insane, crazy person. I haven't met the guy or anything, but you can just tell by the way he does his business and even just the way he presents himself. Him and his brother, they're fucking crazy, bro. Those guys, like, if not for getting famous, probably would have ended up being like mass murderers or fucking really dodgy businessmen that got people killed or whatever the fuck. Those guys are crazy, and trusting them to release anything that I'm going to consume, like, no thank you. I'm fucking quite good on that. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on that. I just think it's really weird. I get branding and I get, diversitizing your fucking income and all that. But just make sense with it. Like, why is it so mental? Especially Mr. Beast. Like, you do giveaway videos. Here, I'm going to start a fast food chain. And it's a failure, obviously. Duh. I just don't get it. Whoever's in charge of this and giving them these ideas, give them other ideas. Maybe better ideas for their fucking videos. Because it seems over time, these kind of guys who branch out more into the business side of things, like, their content just goes to the fucking dumps. They get so invested in making money that creativity just goes. I mean, look at Quibblecop. If you haven't heard of that guy, look up his story. Starts, doing his lame little gaming videos and that. Gets so invested in the money side of things that, of course, the content has to suffer. And now he's, like, generating AI versions of himself to make videos. And, oh my god, these people are nuts, man. It's like brand suicide. I don't know who's telling them to do this or why they're doing it, but just, I don't know, think about it or consider stopping it, because it's fucking annoying and weird. Anyway, that was Mad as a Go. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one.